Good afternoon. How are you today? Well, it's warm, but it's comfortable. And because I'm seeing barn swallows, I think you probably know what that means. But there are flocks of them this time of year, and they're practicing their flying. And I'm not making this up. It's a farmer's almanac kind of thing. And they're practicing their flying before they go south. So this is the earliest indication that winter is coming. It's not here yet, but it's coming. Turning our attention down to the border, thinking of things like City Slicker, you got to ask yourself, what in the world is wrong with our people in immigration that they would have a man on horseback looking very much the cowboy chasing immigrants on horseback. And there's a terrible picture that's spreading around the world now of this cowboy reaching over his horse and grabbing at the person who is represented to be an immigrant. Is that ever the dumbest thing? I guess the one thing is he's not trying to rope him like a calf, but it's an inhumane way to approach any policing effort, which is, I guess, what this is, giving him the benefit of the doubt. America just can't help itself. You know, and this is within days of the fellow whose family left Haiti a long time ago. They went to Chile, and he walked, they say, 8,500 miles from Chile to the Mexican border, our border, and he hoped to be able to join some family who are here. But because he was originally from Haiti, when our immigration found that out, they put him on a plane to Haiti, not to Chile. Can anybody do this worse? Give us our tired, our hungry, and we'll mess with them. We'll confound them. We'll prove that the ugly American persists to this day, and not just when he whose name we'd rather forget is out of office. Going to the Hill, let's talk about money. The Hill is on the brink, right on the precipice of being unable to do its business because its debt limit has to be increased. And they need a continuing resolution to keep the government going. Now, when the Republicans were in charge, Democrats held their nose and voted for a package that included some things they did not like because they couldn't not have the government operating. Which would mean some people wouldn't get to go to the parks, but other people might see their Social Security checks late or not at all. So this is no funny business. What can we say about this? I think the Republicans have proven they're prepared to assist in financial suicide for the nation, as well as medical suicide for people who should get vaccinated, but they're telling them not to. That's pretty amazing. I continue to wonder how the Democrats think they're going to unwind the Gordian knot they've created procedurally in legislation in the Senate. Because they can go forward with budget reconciliation bill, including these matters, but, well, no guts, no glory. They are more interested, it seems, in having an issue than in solving the problem. And that's wrong. You know, the S&M team are screwing up movements against cloture and movements to have the bigger infrastructure deal. And there's pressure on Pelosi to approve the $1 trillion bill, which is poorly financed as well. So we have chaos on the Hill. Until these people come out of their kamikaze dive into the earth, we're going to have this kind of stuff. So let these people know this doesn't stand. We can't put up with this. Now, we have an example in Texas on how bad that Texas abortion bill is. Literally, an inmate in Texas is suing a doctor, I think his name is Braid, who performed an abortion after the 6 weeks in the Texas bill, which is still legal when he did it under Roe v. Wade. So, if he had started the case, it would be to test the statute. And I suppose that's what's going to happen anyhow. But the fella who has started it is a Texas inmate and asked why he was doing it. And he explained, no, it's not about the Constitution or whether he's for choice or whether he is pro-life. It's because he wants the $10,000. So that's what our law has become. I got a very unhappy dog here, but if he wants me, apparently he has to go through several things to get to me. I usually put on my best prosecutor voice and say, "Don't you do that," something like that. Seems to work. It'll work until it doesn't, I guess, but I've been doing it for quite a number of years. Finally, Biden did some good today. Not that he doesn't on a day-to-day basis. He was at the UN, and he was saying, we have to deal with our global climate crisis. And he pointed out that in the next 10 years, we risk an increase of 2.7 degrees Celsius, which would be catastrophic for the Earth. And there is a legitimate question whether whatever we do, is it too late? Meaning, as Hansen from New York originally signaled the alarm in the 60s about global warming, whether we've reached a tipping point. And Hansen describes a tipping point as a point at which there's no recovery. And we have, after the UN meets, and after the very fine speech Biden gave on the subject, we're having a conference presided over by the PM, the Prime Minister of Great Britain. So more is coming. This is a hopeful move, and we can't have enough of it. And to show how current it is, consider that we have Manchin on the Hill undermining it in the Democratic caucus, which says to us, what do these caucuses mean? If the people who get there pick and choose labels that have no meaning in terms of ideology, consistency, or the promises they made when they were running for office. But let's cheer Biden to cure what he can, get the child vaccines out there as fast as possible, in every way possible, mandate masks and the vaccine and distance. So, oh, by the way, I should be on Ari tonight, you never know, 6:30, talking about what's happening in the DA's office in New York City. All the best. Bye-bye.